Today, we're breaking down the pros and cons of living in Groveland, Florida. Welcome back to Unlocking Central Florida, from Orlando to Tampa and everywhere in between. If you're new to the channel, hi, I'm Jake, and if you're looking to buy or sell a home in the future, there's information linked below the video. First pro of living in Groveland, Florida is that there's a lot of open space. It's a nice small countryside town with having a lot of beautiful scenery. There's some hills and there's a lot of lakes in the area, and there's a lot more open space, and there's also a lot of options for recreational activities outside and outdoor activities. And this is also a great opportunity to get more land if you're wanting more space and more land as well, being in Groveland. The first con of living in Groveland, Florida is that there's less things to do compared to other parts of Central Florida. And you're further out from Orlando, you're further out from some of those busier hubs where there's just a lot of activities to do. There's a lot of theme parks and pretty much unlimited things to do throughout Central Florida, but you're so far on the edge of the Central Florida metro, and especially if you don't have a car and you're younger, it's going to be much more limiting as far as things to do for nightlife or having social activities or going to theme parks. It's much more limiting than other parts of Central Florida where you're more inside of all of the action and where everything's happening. But in return, you get more space and there's more open land and it's more quiet with less traffic in the area, which leads to the second pro, that there is just much less traffic than many other parts of Central Florida. That is one of the major downsides of many of the other parts of Central Florida that people note who live there, is that there is a decent bit of traffic in many parts of the Orlando metro. However, in Groveland, the traffic is much less. It is much more easy to get around and drive around, and the drive times are much faster per mile in Groveland, so you can get around much easier, and it's a lot less busy and a lot less congested, which can make it more convenient being in Groveland. And even though it's a further commute to get to places, it's also going to be an easier commute coming in and out of Groveland as well. And the second con, which kind of ties into the first con, is that you're further away from everything. You're further away from the airport, you're further away from Orlando and the theme parks. Everything's further away, so everything's going to be a longer commute. So while traffic is not as bad right in Groveland, you're going to have to drive further and go through more traffic and just go further to get to where you need to be if you're wanting to go to other parts of the Orlando metro and if you're wanting to do different things. Now, if you're mostly staying more local, that might not be a big downside, but when you do want to fly out or go to the airport or go to Orlando for nightlife or different activities happening in Orlando or in any of the theme parks, that's going to be a little bit further away than many of the other parts of Central Florida. The third pro of living in Groveland, Florida is that you have the opportunity to get more land and get more bang for your buck in Groveland because you're further out, so you have the opportunity just to get more land for the amount of money you spend. So if you have a certain budget and you're wanting more land and space and to be able to do more with that land and space, then Groveland could be a really good option. It's still not too far out from the Orlando metro and from everything, but it also allows you to get something a little bit more affordably and to get a little bit more land than other areas in Central Florida. Those are the pros and cons of living in Groveland, Florida. Thanks for watching, and now watch the map tour of Groveland, Florida on the screen now.